think sometimes people get misled there that they, if they weigh 200 pounds, they forget that if they have, if they're 40% body fat, the fat really doesn't,
Right.
it's easy to have too many calories going in if you're eating to your overall body weight. So that lean muscle
Right.
mass piece matters a lot. And do you have, when you're coaching with your clients and your patients, what do you think is your most challenging point to get them to eat correctly?
Honestly, it's just escaping old habits. Some people are really habituated in the way they eat. Liquid calories are really hard. Some people are very, very addicted to certain drinks. Drinking habits, alcohol is another big one. People don't realize how much weight they can put on by just drinking alcohol. I mean, one alcoholic beverage is like 100 calories, and it's really bad calories, right? Your liver detoxifies it, turns into fat, basically, visceral fat at that. Other people will say like they can't get enough protein in, and that I can break down pretty quickly by identifying the protein sources that they enjoy and encouraging them to eat it throughout the day. Some people think for some reason that they can only have like large protein at like dinner, and I'm like, no, you can have it at breakfast. Like there are no rules about breakfast. People are like, oh, well, what can I eat for breakfast? There's so many limited options for breakfast. This is a social construct, right? People are like, there are certain breakfast foods. So like, I can only eat certain things at breakfast. And it's not true. Like who's to say why is General Mills okay to tell us that we can have candy for breakfast? All these cereals and garbage muffins and things like that. But then if I tell you to eat like a salad with chicken or, 4 hard-boiled eggs, like I'm the weird guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can eat a more substantial breakfast. You can eat a medium-sized lunch or a larger lunch and a small dinner. Like that's okay. Do what works for you.
Yeah, the other day, my wife and I ended up in Jim's restaurant, and they're open kind of late. And I'm like, well, my wife's eating an omelet like at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, well, not like it doesn't matter. It's an omelet normally.
Does not matter.
Yeah, sometimes when I was thinking back to my primary care days when I was treating patients, and patients would walk in, and one of the most common complaints that we see is fatigue. We see fatigue a lot. People come in, they complain of fatigue. Our weight loss patients, I'm always tired. And, if you go back to the clinical days, I sat there and go, well, as soon as somebody comes in for fatigue, you're going to think about, are they anemic? Is their thyroid working? You start going through these disease processes that are possibly contributing to the fatigue. But in reality, and especially in my early days when I was seeing patients, I probably didn't do a great job asking, are you eating and are you drinking water? Because like eating correctly, if I've learned that since, many years ago I learned it, but so many people are walking around tired and they haven't drank any water all day, or they're dizzy.
Yes.
Okay. They're tired. I don't have energy to work out. And then you ask them what you eat today. And you alluded to earlier, maybe they just ate a bagel for breakfast. They skipped lunch and now they're, 6 o'clock at night and they haven't eaten anything. Well, of course you're going to be tired. And there's just no question about it.
Yeah. The hydration piece is key.
Oh, it is. It matters. Hydration, there's no doubt about it that it contributes to fatigue. So when you are seeing your weight loss patients, what is the key? Like, if you were to say, what are the 2 or 3 pearls that you'd like to give every patient when it comes to eating healthy and setting themselves up for a successful program, what do you let them know?
I kind of give them a little bit of tough love, if I'm being honest. I'm not here to assuage your ego or hold your hand. Like, I really want to empower patients. So that's really critical for me. So when I explain, like when I design a nutritional protocol to a patient, I have them like explain it back to me. Like I need to understand that you understand. And so when I design a protocol, I explain that like you need to understand this nutritional accounting like you understand your books, like your banking and your finances, right? This all needs to make sense to you. And if it doesn't, you're not going to pay attention to it. You're not going to keep track and you're not going to hold yourself accountable. So I go over the education around protein, macronutrient profiles, protein, carbohydrates, fats. I go over different sources for them. I build different meals for them that'll be consistent. And I explain also the targets might change over time. If I have someone who's losing 50 pounds, I explain as you get more and more efficient, as your body loses more and more weight, we are going to have to adapt and update our nutritional protocol. You're going to have to eat less and less and less as you nadir out on your weight.
Watch full episodes on Vitality Unfiltered.